I'm a Silicon Valley realtor, right? And as such, people often want to know what it is I do to get their home sold, especially people who have owned their Bay Area homes for decades and don't have a lot of recent experience selling property. These are people with a lot of equity to protect that is absolutely crucial to fund their next chapter in life. So they need someone who can do more than just get it sold. Any idiot can do that. They need someone who can crush the sale, sell it for tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of extra dollars, after all fees and costs, and more than they could get selling any other way or with any other agent. And that is a fair question, but put another way, what they are asking is, what's the plan, man? What's the strategy? How can I be sure you're not going to screw this up? Well, listen, my strategy is a step-by-step process which, when followed exactly, results in the highest price possible and the best terms for the sale of your home, given your resources, time, goals, and other constraints. It all begins with a phone call to get to know each other and determine if and when we should take the next step. And the next step is simply sitting down together, face to face, for a real conversation. Because the best plan isn't just about the house, it's about your life and your family. I need to understand your needs, your wants and goals, and also the hidden factors that can make a sale either smooth or stressful. Tax implications, timing, moving logistics, what you're doing and where you're going next, and any family dynamics that need to be handled thoughtfully. We'll talk through who's involved in decisions, what everyone is worried about, even if they're not saying it out loud, and how to structure the timeline so no one feels blindsided. When we start this way, the plan we build fits the whole picture, not just the market. And that's how you end up with results that feels good for everyone, not just a fantastic, amazing, mind-blowing number on paper. Now, assuming we agree to work together on the sale of your home, the next step is to come up with a plan to cost-effectively prepare your home for sale. The goal with home preparation is actually not to maximize the sale price. Rather, it is to maximize your cash out at closing after all fees and costs. The smartest home preparation isn't about heavy remodeling like redoing the kitchen and bathrooms or putting new windows in or any of that, which study after study shows are consistent money losers. Rather, it's about reducing or eliminating things which turn off buyers, that elicit a decidedly emotional negative response. That usually means tightening up the obvious stuff, making the home clean, bright, fresh, uncluttered, and functional. We focus on the handful of improvements, what I call the low-hanging fruit, that actually moves the needle. Maximizing sunlight, improving electric light as needed, removing any unpleasant odors, dirt, and grime, trimming up the landscaping, focusing any repairs on health and safety issues, or anything that might make it challenging to get a conventional loan on the property. And that is where my room-by-room review comes in. In each room, we look for three things: what distracts, what repels, and what creates doubt. For each interior room, and all of the exterior as well, I build a detailed punch list that prioritizes impact on your bottom line. It's not a do everything list, it's a do the right things list. And I must add, these are all just suggestions. Look, it's your house and you maintain complete control of whatever preparation work you'd like done to it. And of course, with my concierge service, we'll get people to do all that work for you, or some of it as you prefer. But the goal with all prep work is that when we first open the door to the market, buyers focus on the home's strengths and don't get turned off by things that all buyers hate, regardless of who they are, how old they are, or where they come from. It may sound like a lot of work, but it doesn't have to be, especially if you allow me to orchestrate and manage the project for you. But once it's done, which may take almost no time at all, we move on to the next phase, marketing your home. So, what's the marketing plan? Well, when people hear marketing, they usually picture glossy photos, drone shots, brochures, and a bunch of social media posts. And yes, I do all of that. All realtors do that, pretty much. It's like table stakes. When you go to a doctor, they take your temperature, they take your blood pressure, and they weigh you. But does your doctor ever talk about that? No, of course not, because it's just so basic. So much of the marketing that realtors talk about is really just basic stuff that every realtor does. But here's the truth. Most of what people think of as real estate marketing isn't actually what gets a house sold, and it isn't what gets it sold for the highest price possible, as quickly as possible, with the least amount of hassle and risk. Here is the God's honest truth. The homes that sell fastest and for the strongest price don't win because of some sexy ad campaign. They win because the fundamentals are right first. The home is prepared, it's positioned with a clear story, and it's priced strategically. It's not listed for sale with wishful thinking with a build it and they will come mentality. The home is positioned to take maximum advantage of current market conditions given the neighborhood and likely buyer pool. When we are ready, we launch hard and fast, and we concentrate demand like a laser, tipping the scales heavily in the seller's favor. That first week on market matters more than most sellers realize, especially first-time sellers or those who haven't sold a home in 30 or 40 years. The first 7 to 10 days is when buyer attention is at its peak. Saved searches fire, agents get alerts, and buyers who have been waiting finally have something new to react to. If we hit that window with a home that presents the best values buyers have seen given the area and price point, it makes the home, your home, the obvious choice for them to come and see. This creates urgency, and urgency is what creates leverage for the seller. Now, let me say the quiet part out loud. A lot of people think that with great marketing or beautiful staging, you can sell your home for more money. That somehow these things add actual value to the dirt, shingles, glass, wires, concrete, and wood that make up your house, such that people are willing to pay a lot more for your home because of it. This is all horse shit. Let me spell it out for you. You can't market your way out of overpricing. Great marketing can bring traffic to the listing page on a realtor's website, and it can even help get people in your door. But what it cannot do is reliably compel buyers to see value that isn't there once they open the door and come inside. In a normalizing market, hope pricing gets punished quickly. More days on market, fewer offers, and the negotiation power shifts rapidly to the buyer's side, ultimately leading to a loss of a substantial amount of money, easily tens of thousands of dollars. So great marketing isn't a panacea. It's not a magic bullet that's going to sell your house for more. The winning combo is correct pricing plus great marketing, not one or the other. But what does great marketing actually look like when it's done right? Well, it starts with presentation. Professional photography is, for me, non-negotiable. No iPhone photos here. But you need the right kind of photography. Sellers need to understand that in Silicon Valley, buyers are busy. They don't have time to look at houses they don't think will work for them. Photography which overexposes homes, which shows features that nobody wants or would turn people off, doesn't help. Sellers need to understand that actually, buyers look at photographs to decide which homes not to see in person. That's why oftentimes less is more. A few well-chosen photographs will usually work much better than 36 to 50 photos that make buyers think they don't actually need to come see the property in person. And if they never walk in the door, they're never going to make an offer on your home. Now comes distribution. You want your listing everywhere, quickly and intentionally. That includes targeted digital advertising across major platforms, email marketing to a network of motivated buyers and agents, and a focused social media push during that early window when attention is highest. The secret isn't one magic marketing channel, it's actually coordinated timing so that buyers see the home multiple times in a short period and start thinking, if I want this, I have to move. And all that digital marketing and email marketing and postcards, those are all great for the listing agent, because the honest truth is the listing agent is who benefits most from this kind of marketing. Look what a great job I do marketing homes. But there's one marketing tool that most agents barely talk about, even though it's the one single tool that is 100 times more important than all the rest of the marketing tools put together. Yes, of course, I'm talking about the MLS. The multiple listing service is still where the vast majority of serious buyers and buyer agents discover homes. Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, Compass.com, and hundreds of thousands of agent websites pull data from the MLS. That's why, for most sellers, the smartest marketing plan is the one that makes your listing look irresistible, where buyers are actually out looking for homes to buy. Realtors don't like to talk about the MLS because they don't see it as a point of differentiation, because all realtors have MLS access and almost all listings go there. But actually, the truth is, the way that you position and optimize your listing on the MLS will make a far bigger difference than all of your other marketing efforts put together by a couple of orders of magnitude. You must make sure that your home is strategically positioned on the MLS so that it is seen by the highest number of qualified buyers possible. But I would be remiss if I didn't also discuss pre-marketing. You may have heard how I just said that almost all listings go on the MLS. Some never actually make it there because they are sold pre-market or off-market. In point of fact, that number is very small, but that doesn't mean you should ignore the pre-marketing phase, as that can be very powerful when it fits the home and the timing. Statistics show that it is often best to test positioning, pricing, and interest first as a Compass private exclusive, and then perhaps also as a coming soon listing to build early momentum. The goal is simple. When you go active on the MLS, you want a head of steam. You want buyers who have been tracking your listing as it gets prepared to hit the market. These are buyers who will already be waiting to get in the door, primed and ready to take action when the time comes. And after buyers come in the door, we should expect offers to follow, which they will if the home is well prepared, positioned, and priced. This is the time where my 20+ years of experience really come to the fore when we begin negotiations with buyers. Negotiation is where the rubber meets the road, because this is the moment when your outcome stops being theoretical and becomes real money. Great marketing can create interest, but negotiation is what turns that interest into strong terms, zero concessions, and a fatter bottom line. It's not just pushing for a higher price. It's knowing when to hold firm, when to trade terms, and how to manage and manipulate multiple offers, and how to keep a buyer moving forward without giving away leverage. The difference in results between good enough and truly skilled negotiation is often tens of thousands of dollars, and in Silicon Valley, it can absolutely be six figures once you factor in price, credits, repairs, contingencies, and timing. The goal is to protect your leverage and your equity from the first counter offer to the last moment your home is in escrow, so you don't pay the price for someone else's uncertainty. So if you're thinking about selling your home in Silicon Valley, here's the takeaway. The best way to sell your home is with a disciplined, high-impact launch. Prep the home, price it strategically, tell a clear story, distribute it widely, and do it all in a tight window where buyer attention is highest. That is how you create urgency and competition between buyers, and then negotiate the deal with finesse, playing buyers against each other, making them compete to see who gets the prize, your beautiful home. That is the formula that ultimately gets you the highest price and the best possible terms when you go to sell your home in Silicon Valley. If you're considering selling your home in Silicon Valley and you want to get tens or possibly hundreds of thousands of more dollars for it than you could get any other way, I invite you to take advantage of my amazing strategy. The first step, as I mentioned, is simply reach out and call me, or feel free to text me too. Either way, my cell number is 408-596-1623. I look forward to speaking with you soon to help you make your next move the best one yet.